I would like to spend more money on diplomacy. Again, rather than spend $1 trillion modernizing our nuclear forces, the triad. Are Americans really this stupid? They roll out the B-21 Raider bomber. Raiders, and it's the B-21. It's great. It's awesome. Look at how sexy it is and sleek it is, and all Americans going, ooh, that's nice. Do you know that for the price paid for one of these bombers, you could solve a lot of problems? Education, healthcare, infrastructure. That bomber is useless. That bomber shouldn't exist. There's no reason to have that bomber. That bomber doesn't defend us. That bomber offends the rest of the world. The same thing with the F-35. It doesn't work, first of all. The B-21 is probably not going to work. We have missiles. The sole purpose of these missiles in these silos, they will tell you, the only reason why we have missiles in silos is to attract enemy nuclear weapons. It's a missile sump. It's designed to create targets for nuclear weapons. Now, if you're the American people living next to that missile silo going, really? Really? That's what you want? You're going to turn my farm, my city into a sump for enemy missiles? I don't like that. Let's not do that. I'd prefer the enemy isn't targeting my hometown. So if that's the only reason for this silo to exist, let's get rid of the silo. And we have submarines out there right now that have more destructive power on them. One submarine can destroy the world. One submarine can destroy the world. One submarine can destroy the world. And yet we don't care. We don't think about it. We need to wake up to the fact that our military, we spend, let's again, break this down. Russia's in the process of mobilizing a military that's capable of defeating NATO if they want to. Russia spends about $66 billion a year on defense. We spend over $800 billion. NATO together spends $1.1 trillion. Russia spending $66 billion can build a military that can defeat an alliance that spends $1.1 trillion. Do you not understand how broke we are? And so we have to fundamentally change our relationship with the military. Look, I was a Marine. I'm very proud of being a Marine, and I like the training they gave me. I like the code that was imparted on me, integrity, honor, duty, etc. And I think there's a role for Marines today, but Marines can't be used as an expeditionary force to impose America's will on the world. That's not how neighbors operate or should operate. We should have diplomats out there who are talking to the Russians. We should be spending so much money on diplomacy so that we never have a conflict. Like, we could have solved all the problems that led to the Ukrainian war had we spent $30 million in diplomatic effort. I want American people to chew on that number for a little bit. For $30 million of diplomatic effort, we could have stopped a war that's already cost us over $100 billion. It's cost Ukraine $1 trillion in infrastructure damage. It's cost the world several $1 trillion in energy costs because of the sanctions that were imposed. So a little bit of yak, yak, yak. Yak, yak, yak. You can get irritated at it. Trust me. Your audience is probably tired of hearing me talk. But you know what? How many people have died because of yak, yak, yak? Not a single one. Bang, bang, bang kills a lot of people. Yak, yak. So I want people to be yak, yak, yakking. I want them across the table. I want them to get frustrated. I want them to be drinking coffee. I want them to have to go pee several times a day because of the coffee they drank. I want them to get fat from eating these ridiculous diplomatic lunches. That's what I want, because nobody's dying. What I don't want is for the diplomats not to be talking, and then we send these militaries off to fight and die in a battlefield, bringing so much pain and suffering and destruction and death. I mean, that's bad, but we have to train ourselves to think that way. We have to understand that a nation built on principles of love, compassion, and humanitarianism relishes the yak, yak, yak and condemns the bang, bang, bang. But we're the other way around. We put the bang, bang, bang on a pedestal. We were like, that's it, man. That's what we want. The nobility of the military. There ain't nothing noble about dying, people. There ain't nothing noble about dying, and there's nothing noble about taking human life.